All rise. Court's back in session. May be seated. Come on.
Quick. Ms. Drain.
I'm here.
To the attorney. Calling case number 2405-865-101 before the state of Michigan versus Christopher Allison. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder by strangulation. Count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 3, domestic violence. Defendant has a habitual offender for defense notice, mandatory 25 years sentence.
Prosecutor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service by Cheryl Quick, P83973 on behalf of Christopher Allison. Mr. Allison appears from the Wayne County Jail.
Are there any preliminary matters?
Yes, Your Honor, we have paper discovery in this case. We do not have any digital, so I would be requesting digital. Also, I was contacted by the complaining witness who has told me that she has submitted certain statements and communication to APA Bryn Kurt, and so we would request all communication and statements that she has submitted as part of discovery as well.
Ms. Drain?
Yes, Ms. Quick, I actually just sent you an evidence.com link, which should contain all of the digital discovery. If there's anything else that you need in terms of paper or digital discovery, please let me know. And I will be in contact with Ms. Kurt to get the information that she has gotten from the complainant.
Great, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll just need an exam date then.
August 28th at 11:30.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Judge, I believe they are ready on 10 o'clock. Same. Calling case number 2405-859801. People of the state of Michigan versus Keywan Kedwood. Defendant is charged in count 1, homicide, murder, first degree premeditated.
Good morning, Your Honor. Anna Bickerstaff on behalf of the people, P82215.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service by Lauren Anderson, P85191 on behalf of Keywan Headwood, who's present for tonight left.
State your name for the record.
Good morning, Keywan Deshaun Haywood.
You may be seated. Are there any preliminary matters?
Yes, Judge, preliminarily, the people would ask for a mutual order of sequestration with an exception for the officer in charge who is seated to my left.
I'm in agreement.
Is there anyone in the courtroom that may testify today or at future proceeding as you step in the hallway at this time? An exception will be made to the officer in charge. You may now call your first witness.
Judge, also preliminarily, the people would move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit number 10, which is a medical examiner's report pursuant. I'm sorry. People's Proposed Exhibit number 10, which is a medical examiner's report, admitted pursuant to MCL 76611.
No objection.
Okay, will be admitted.
And Judge, this is the medical examiner's report authored by Dr. Catherine Perez on August 19th of 2024 of an autopsy performed on the body of Gregory Gibson on July 17th of 2024. Dr. Perez indicated, it is my opinion that death was caused by a stab wound to the chest. Per investigation, the decedent was a 32-year-old male who was found stabbed and conveyed to a local hospital where, despite medical intervention, he was pronounced deceased. The manner of death is homicide. And at this time, the people would call Detective Anthony Carlison to the stand.
your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Maybe see. No witness.
Thank you. Can you please state your name for the record?
Antonio Carlisi,
And are you currently employed?
City of Detroit Police Department.
And are you with a particular unit or group at the police department?
I work for homicide section.
And within the homicide section, do you have any certain tasks that you regularly conduct?
Yes, I extract video from surveillance systems.
Alright. And back on July 16th of 2024, did you go to the location of 17804 West McConico's in the city of Detroit, County of Wayne?
I did.
And what did you do at that location?
There, I extracted video from 2 DVRs.
All right. And can you explain that extraction process for the record, please?
So the extraction process starts where basically looking at the system, calibrating the time of that system to the world clock, which those ones I do believe were 0 to the world clock, so they were on time. And then from that point, going into the system and downloading the required video to a thumb drive.
When you say the required video, what video would that have been?
Whatever's requested by the officer in charge.
All right. And did you download a specific time range?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall what that time range was?
That I would have to look at my report.
All right. Well, looking at our report, refresh your recollection as to the time range that you downloaded.
Correct.
All right. May I approach the witness?
Yes.
All right. Do you recognize what I've handed you?
Correct.
What have I handed you?
That's my cell phone.
Okay. You can please review that and let me know if it refreshes your recollection as to the time.
1,500 to 1,600 hours.
All right. So what would that be in non-military time?
That's 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
And you indicated the timestamp on the videos was accurate timestamp?
Yes.
Perfect. And earlier today, did you have the opportunity to review 6 different camera angles?
Yes.
And were those the cameras that you extracted from that location?
Correct.
And those fairly and accurately reflected the video you extracted from 17804 West McConico's on July 16th of 2024?
Correct.
At this time, I move for the admission of people's exhibits 1 through 6.
No objection. Will be admitted.
Thank you. Permission to publish the report?
Yes.
Ma'am, somebody share my screen.
We'll step up for 1 second. Let the guy do this.
Yep, yes. Let me hear. Yeah. So it doesn't. Okay.
What's the name?
Judge, for the record, I'm publishing People's Exhibit 1 at 40 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay.
And for the record, I've paused the video. And jumping to 42:26. For the record, I'm publishing People's Exhibit 2. At 42:24. And for the record, I'm publishing People's Exhibit 3. At 41:08. And for the record, I'm publishing People's Exhibit 4. 4125. And so we're gonna pause the video at 4129. Detective, can you tell us the time and date of this video here?
That is, the date is July 16th, 2024, and it's 15:41, 3:41 PM.
All right, and you physically went to this gas station location to pull the video?
Correct.
All right, to the best of your knowledge, the window on the upper left corner, does that look out to the parking lot?
Correct.
All right, thank you. For the record, I'm resuming the video. For the record, I'm publishing People's Exhibit 5. At 43.5. And pausing the video. And detective, can you give us the timestamp at this point, please?
The timestamp is 15:42.
Thank you. On what date?
July 16th,
Thank you.
2024.
And for the record, I'm publishing People's Exhibit 6. At 41:03. And I'm pausing the video at 42. Actually, there's pausing the video at 42:21. And may I approach with People's Proposed Exhibit 7, 8, 9?
Yes.
All right, you recognize what I've handed you?
Yes.
What have I handed you?
This is a still shot of the video from the behind the counter.
All right, and the next exhibit?
This is a still the video showing McConico's, the side street, and two people walking in the park.
All right, and the next exhibit?
This is just another part of that same shot, still that same shot, also with two individuals walking across the camera shot
All
closer
right,
to the camera.
And do all three of those pictures in your hand, did those come from the surveillance video that you extracted?
I would say yes, they're from the same video that we just saw.
All right, I guess, not the same video, but different angles of the video. that you extracted.
Different angles of the videos of the last 6 videos that we've seen.
All right, thank you. At this time, I move for the admission of exhibits 7, 8, and 9.
No objection heard.
Publish. We will be there.
Thank you. And permission to publish the report.
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Cross.
Good morning. It's Detective, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Detective, this is from a green line camera, right?
No, this is not.
It's from regular surveillance.
This is directly from the DVR.
Okay, and that DVR, it's fair to say, has multiple different angles, right?
Correct.
One of them was from the front,
Correct.
one from the side,
Correct.
and it also had multiple inside angles as well.
Correct.
And it's important for you as a detective to get a full picture of that surveillance to see what happened.
Correct.
Now, there's no audio on this video, right?
That don't recall that there was. There might have been some from behind. I don't recall.
Okay, we obviously haven't heard any sound today.
Correct.
To your knowledge, did any of the surveillance video that you got from the DVRs have any sound?
That I don't recall.
Okay, so you don't recall if you could hear people saying what was happening in the incident out front of the gas station?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, or this is all you did in this investigation?
That's all I did.
Okay, so you didn't talk to any witnesses?
No, ma'am.
So you have no knowledge of what happened?
Correct.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I didn't get.
no knowledge personally of what happened out front of the gas station?
That's correct.
Now, we were looking at some timestamps on these videos that were published. I want to draw your attention to People's Exhibit 3. I believe that was video number 8. We started watching that video at 41:08, correct? Would the people stipulate that we started at 41:08?
Yes.
And it's fair to say that the last timestamp that we wrote down was 43:25, right? People stipulate that was the last timestamp. Yes. So it's fair to say this incident that you got video footage of all occurred within about a minute and a half.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there are no further questions for this witness.
Can you read it?
No.
May step down.
Thank you.
This time the people would call Omar Awadi. Judge, if I could actually approach to retrieve those things in the back, sorry.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Your witness.
Thank you. Can you please state your name again?
Hold on, what?
I'm sorry, before we continue, you gotta approach. Just approach. Sorry about that, Madam Prosecutor, please continue.
All right, can you please state your name?
Omar Wadi,
And Mr. Wadi, back on July 16th of 2024, where were you working?
at the mobile.
Okay, and would that be at 17804 West McNichols in the city of Detroit, County of Wayne?
Yes.
All right, and back on that date, did something happen inside the gas station?
Not in time.
Okay, at some point, did someone come into the gas station that drew your attention?
Yes.
Okay, what did you see?
After I was taking care of a customer, someone had came in and said he was dead.
All right, what did you see? Did you notice anything on that person?
And you have blood all over here.
All right, when you say right here, where are you pointing?
On his chest over here.
All right, and what do you do when you see that?
I had called 911, and while I was on the phone with 911, the customer that was there was helping him out.
Okay, helping him out how?
Trying to keep him out, not to go unconscious.
And were you and that other customer trying to tend to the wound and kind of give aid?
I was on the phone, she was trying to eat him.
Okay. Now, on the same day that this individual was in your store, well, let me ask you this. Would it be fair to say you have regulars that kind of come by the gas station?
Yes.
All right. And did you see those regulars on the day of this incident?
Not that I remember.
All right. I'm going to approach with People's Proposed Exhibit number 7, or I'm sorry, People's Admitted Exhibit 7. Okay, do you recognize someone in that video?
Yes.
All right, who is that?
Me.
All right. And I'm going to hand you People's Exhibits 8 and 9. Do you recognize anyone in those pictures?
Yes, those are regular customers.
All right. And about how often do you think they come to your gas station?
I probably see them maybe a few times a week.
Okay, over what period of time?
For like a couple of months.
All right. And would you recognize these individuals if you saw them again?
Yes.
All right, the male in that picture, can you look around the courtroom and see if you recognize anyone?
Yes.
All right, do you recognize someone?
Yes.
All right, can you tell us where they're seated?
Right over there.
Can you tell us something they're wearing?
The green shirt.
All right, would the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant in this case?
The record will reflect.
Thank you. All right, and you said you're not sure if you saw these individuals on the day that the man.
No, I never seen the incident.
You didn't see the incident, but did you just see them at all earlier that day? If you recall?
No.
You're not sure or no?
No.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Cross.
Good morning, Mr. Owani. Now I just heard you say that you didn't see the incident that happened. Correct? Right, you were inside the gas station,
Yes.
and you heard some commotion outside.
I heard I was actually filling up some 2 liters from outside. I came back to the register, take care of a couple of customers. I heard like a little tap, nothing like hard or anything, just like a little tap. But when I turned around, I didn't see anything.
So you didn't see who stabbed the man outside?
No, I did not see it.
Okay. And so you didn't see Mr. Hedwood who's sitting next to me stab the man that came into your gas station? I'm sorry. I stumbled over my words. Thank you. You did not see Mr. Hedwood who's sitting next to me stab the man that came into your gas station?
No, I did not see it.
Did you hear any noise outside?
I heard a little arguing. That's all I heard. That's all I seen. But when I turned back around, that they were all gone, and the other individual had came inside and said he had got stabbed, but I did not see the stab.
Okay. Judge, I have no further questions.
People have no further questions. People have no additional witnesses at this time.
Any witnesses on behalf of the defense? Argument.
Judge, the people would move to bind the defendant over in the 1 count containing information. As we did see on the video, the entire stabbing incident is observed on the surveillance video from the gas station. You can see the individual in the yellow tank top backing up, and then you see the individual who has been identified as the defendant in this case swing his arm up and then run away. Judge, the people do believe, based on People's Exhibits 4 and 5 and 6, which do show the stabbing incident through the window of the convenience store, the people have proven to a probable cause standard for secret premeditated murder.
On behalf of the defense.
Your Honor, the elements of first degree, or we do object to the bind over on first degree murder. I think that a second degree murder charge is more appropriate in this case. The elements of first degree murder, the intentional killing of a human with premeditation and deliberation. The elements of second degree murder are death caused by the acts of the defendant with malice, which is defined as the creation of high risk of death or great bodily harm, and without justification or excuse. First degree premeditated murder is only distinguished from second degree murder by that element of premeditation. Premeditation cannot be found where there is an act on the part of a defendant, which is from sudden impulse, and that's from People v. Walker. Premeditation can be established a number of ways, and that includes the prior relationship with the parties, the defendant's actions before the killing, the circumstances of the killing itself, and the defendant's conduct after the homicide. So I want to talk about what the evidence that the people put on today was. The evidence had presented no evidence about any kind of prior relationship from the parties. What we saw in People's Exhibit 3 was the decedent actually sprinting towards Mr. Headwood in the video prior to the two having some kind of exchange, which we only know was some kind of argument which was overheard outside, and we have no evidence about what that argument actually was. We have no evidence as to whether the decedent had any kind of weapon. We have no evidence as to whether Mr. Headwood or the young woman who was with him knew this person beforehand. So we know nothing about the prior relationship between the parties. As to the defendant's actions before the killing, all we know is that, again, this gentleman sprinted up towards Mr. Headwood, and then Mr. Headwood moved towards him to create distance between him and the young lady, and that's when this incident ensued. We also know from the officer who pulled the surveillance footage that this entire incident was no more than a course of about a minute or so. So we don't know a lot about the actions prior to that killing. The circumstances of the killing itself, we only saw one swing, presumably with a knife, but we did not see any kind of additional violence. We didn't see any kind of additional interaction between the two at all. And we heard no evidence about the defendant's conduct after the homicide. To premeditate, judge, is to think about beforehand, and to deliberate is to measure and evaluate the major facets of a choice or problem. As a number of courts throughout the state of Michigan have pointed out, premeditation and deliberation are characterized by a thought process undisturbed by hot blood. Time and time again, the Michigan Supreme Court has reversed convictions for the evidence of premeditation and deliberation. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm from the South. Usually I'm told I'm too slow. I'm sorry. The Michigan Supreme Court has reversed convictions where the evidence of premeditation and deliberation was insufficient to warrant submission of a charge of first-degree murder to a jury. In each of those cases, the homicide, much like this one, occurred during an affray whose nature would not permit cool and orderly reflection. The legislature's use of the words willful, deliberate, and premeditated in the first-degree murder statute indicate its intent to require an element of that offense substantially more reflection on and comprehension of the nature of the act than the mere amount of thought necessary to inform the intent to kill. So we can't just have an intent to kill. There has to be that separate premeditation and deliberation. Any kind of homicide, according to People v. Tilley, when a homicide occurs during a sudden affray, it would be a perversion of the terms to apply the term deliberate to any act which is done on a sudden impulse. And a sudden impulse is what we saw today, Judge. We saw this decedent running up on Mr. Headwood and the young lady who was also in the video, words exchanged, and then we saw this incident occur. That would be what I would define as a sudden impulse. When the evidence establishes a fight and then a killing, there must be some kind of showing of thought process undisturbed by hot blood in order to establish first-degree premeditated murder. I would liken this case, Judge, to People v. Plummer. The facts are similar, in which the defendant in that case saw another witness strike someone in the face. That man fell to the floor. He remained there motionless. Similarly, this man had been running up on the defendant and the young lady, and then afterwards, there was simply a blow after an exchange, and there was no time within those few seconds for there to be a second look, and that case was overturned because the evidence was not sufficient for first-degree murder. As the people have not put on any additional evidence about the facts of this case before, after, other than this one sudden blow, after this man initiated this contact by running up on the defendant, I don't think the elements of first degree murder have been met, and I think a second degree murder charge is.
Prosecutor.
Yes, Judge, if people would rely on People's Exhibit 3 that I'm publishing on the screen, Judge, this is not a stun and fray. These are at least 20 seconds where the victim is walking backwards and the defendant is walking at him. There's even a point where they start to separate ways, as we see here, and then the defendant again turns around and follows the victim who is walking away, Judge. And those are the seconds where the premeditation is established. In the 20 seconds where the defendant is following the victim over to where he is across the gas station. The people don't need to prove motive. The people don't have to prove what happened before or what happened after. As defense counsel indicated, we have an entire stabbing incident on video, and we can see the premeditation in the defendant's actions and his choices. So the people do believe, to a probable cause standard, the people have proven first degree premeditated murder.
Court having heard the arguments of counsels as well as the admitted, evidence. Court finds the felony offense charge was committed in the city of Detroit, and if there's probable cause that the defendant committed the offense. Therefore, the defendant will be bound over on the sole count, first degree premeditated murder, to the Lake County Circuit Court for further proceedings. The arraignment of the information will be
August 27th at 9 o'clock.
Is that G7?
August 27th.
Has a DSU report been ordered in this case? We requested it, but to my knowledge, one is not.
if the DSU report is not been completed, one will be ordered.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I definitely can. I have one more coming up.
Yeah, I think I can start. Camera. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.